Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the Akim that's doing his work. It's a Syrian truth. And this is a photo here of a meeting that took place this past week, okay, in Russia, all right, which is to your left is President Rouhani of Iran, and in the middle you have President Putin of Russia, and to your right you have President Erdogan of Turkey. Okay, so now they have formed an alliance in the Middle East. Okay, all right, concerning war-torn Syria, in their fight against ISIS. Okay, which is in fact backed by the United States. Okay, now this is part of the prophecies that are coming to pass. Okay, you know, I'm going to get this through the scriptures. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 27. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes and the captains thereof, and all the rules thereof, and all the land of his dominion. You know, and then when you get into Ararat, basically, okay, this is basically the mountain where Noah's Ark came to rest, which we know as modern day Turkey. Okay, all right, you know, and those Medes is basically referring to the Persians. Okay, you know. So now they're coming together. Okay, which is the purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is his purpose for these nations to start forming an alliance and coming together against Babylon. You know, all right. This is real quick. Let me get Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, and all they which hear them may fear and tremble. You know, and those dragons of Arabia, okay, those are basically the sons of Ishmael. Okay, you know, all right. That they're going to be carried as the wind upon the earth. So they're going to be as swift as the wind, okay? And all that hear them may fear and tremble, right? Also, the Carmadians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay, so the Carmanians are basically those Iranians. Okay, so now you have to understand that the Arabs and the Persians, they're different people. The people of like Iraq or basically the Middle East and Iran, they're two different types of people. Okay, all right. The Carmanians, which is the modern day Iranians, are the Persians. Okay. All right. Now they're going to join alliance with the dragons of Arabia, okay, which is the sons of Ishmael. All right, you know, and they're gonna waste a portion of their Syrians, okay, which is basically the you know, you can go by the landmass also, you know, because that's basically going to be the focal point of the war. It's going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, right? Then verse 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, you know, and that remembering their nature, you know, if them is as them being as of a wild man, okay, all right. So let me prove that. Let me get Genesis chapter 16, verse 11. Okay, this is when the angel of the Lord spoke to Hagar, which was the bondwoman, all right, to Ishmael, okay? And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh have heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of his brethren. Okay, all right. So that's referring to those 12 princes. So to prove about the dragons of Arabia, okay, we're going to get Galatians chapter 4, verse 22. For as it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by the bondmaid and the other by the free woman, which is referring to Ishmael and Isaac. Okay, all right. But he who is of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. That's referring to Ishmael. But he of the free woman was born of the promise. Okay, that's talking about Isaac. Which these things are an allegory, for these are two covenants. One from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Hagar. Okay, so that's which is referring to Hagar. Okay, right? And Hagar is in Mount Sinai in Arabia. Okay, so that's the point right there that I want to get though. But so now the sons of Ishmael are dwelling in Arabia, which are the dragons of Arabia, which is described in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Okay, you know. All right. So now I want to include Russia joining into this battle. Okay. All right. That's prophesied in the scriptures. You see. All right. So gonna get Ezekiel chapter 38. Start at the third verse. Okay. Right. Let's start at 1. Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus say Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, and all the men of clothed in all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. You know, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is turning the hooks back into Russia. Okay, all right, to go back into that state that they was in during the Cold War. Okay, all right, to be that adversary. Okay, against the beast. You know, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, in the house of Tugol in the north quarters, and all his bands with many people with thee. You know, so that's basically the point right there. You know, is where how all of these nations are going to come up in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and they're going to be prepared for war. Okay, because this is the purpose. Okay, so we're going to get Yahweh Bashim Yahshua's purpose. Okay. Slakia. This is Jeremiah chapter 46, verse 9. Come up, ye horses, and rage, ye chariots, and let the mighty men come forth. The Ethiopians, the Libyans that handled the shield, and the Libyans that handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiated and made drunk with their blood. Yahweh of hosts have a sacrifice in the north country, by the river Euphrates. Okay, so this is where this whole battle is going to start to take place, you know, and we're starting to see, you know, these pieces starting to be put together. Okay, so now you're going to have some type of order, okay, all right, in the East as far as in alliances being built. You see, okay, because right now the U.S. the only ally that they have right now is the land of Israel, okay, all right, which they fund, all right, with their weaponry, okay, and then they have their paid assassins, which is ISIS, okay, which are losing the war there in these proxy wars, okay, and Saudi Arabia, which is an ally of the United States, but they're teetering, you know, and they're basically a pawn, okay, they're basically a pawn in there, you know, and right now, as you know that Turkey is still a member of NATO, okay. So now this article here says Erdogan's chief advisor calls for Turkey's NATO membership to be reconsidered. Okay, so I want to get a little bit into this article. All right, right. It says it's time to reconsider the issue of Turkey's membership in NATO. Erdogan's chief advisor Yalçın Topçu has stated, according to local media, right? Now this is a big thing right here. Turkey has the second largest army in the alliance after the United States. Okay, so Turkey is basically the second largest army in NATO. Okay, and they're thinking about shying away from NATO. Okay, all right, because they know that there's corruption within there, because they tried to overthrow that president about a year ago. Okay, let's see. I want to get down. There's a point here I want to grab real quick. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Here's a quote at the top of the screen. Today there is a Turkey that cannot be compared with 15 years ago in every field. From the economy to the defense industry, and from trade diplomacy. There is now a Turkey that produces its own weapons and tanks, Erdogan warned. You know, right? Last week, Turkish troops were forced to leave NATO drills ahead of schedule after the names of Erdogan and Artok appeared in an embarrassing enemy chart. It was decided to withdraw all 40 Turkish soldiers from the drill immediately. Erdogan said, adding that the removal of these names were from the enemy poster featuring his name on one side and a picture of modern Turkey's founder would not change his decision. There can be no alliance like that, Erdogan said. You know, so basically now there's a friction, okay, between Turkey and NATO, okay, and his advisors are telling him the best interest is for them to altogether leave NATO. So you know, this was going ahead of that meeting here, okay, which is a nice prophecy that's coming to pass, okay, so where you're having the alliances are starting to really form now, okay. All right, so these are basically three superpowers that you have in that region, okay? You know, so just like a little quick update on what's going on, concerning these prophecies, all right? So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim that's doing his work in sincerity and truth. Shalom.